Welcome viewers from ZalengamMedia. Today's detailed analysis explores the unfolding power struggle within the NSCN-IM, a conflict that has not only shaken the organization's inner circle, but also raised questions about the future direction of one of the most influential insurgent movements in northeast India. Recent developments in November 2025 have exposed widening cracks within the group's leadership hierarchy, as senior officers and political leaders increasingly clash over ideology, authority, and the handling of the peace process with the government of India. At the center of this internal tension stands Thuingaleng Muivah, the longtime leader of the NSCN-IM. At 91, Muivah remains the movement's symbolic head, but dissenting voices within the organization are growing louder, challenging both his decision-making and the ideological purity of the group's original vision. Reports from multiple sources, including the Shillong Times, Eastern Mirror, RepublicWorld, The Print, and E-Pao, suggest that factions within the NSCN-IM are now openly questioning the senior leadership's motives, accusing them of prioritizing personal and political gains over the Naga people's aspirations. The internal rift and accusations of betrayal. The internal conflict began with an open letter circulated by a section of NSCN-IM's military officers. In this letter, the officers accused the central leadership, particularly Th. Muivah, of betraying the cause and working too closely with Indian government agencies. This rare act of defiance immediately drew condemnation from the organization's headquarters, which labeled it a mutiny and warned of disciplinary action. According to Eastern Mirror's November 2025 report, the dissenters accused Muivah and his close aides of neglecting the interests of the Naga cause and failing to maintain the revolutionary integrity that once defined the group. They also alleged that key positions and appointments within the organization had become personalized and monopolized, creating frustration among younger cadres and field commanders. On the other hand, Muivah's loyalists strongly dismissed these claims, calling them an attempt to weaken the foundation of Naga unity. They maintained that the NSCN-IM leadership remains fully committed to achieving a lasting solution based on the framework agreement signed with the government of India in 2015. However, internal sources quoted by the Shillong Times revealed that tensions have been simmering for months. Many within the group believe that Muivah's prolonged absence from the field and increasing reliance on a few trusted aides have alienated a large section of the military wing. The leadership's perceived failure to achieve tangible progress on the Naga flag and constitution has also amplified disillusionment. Muivah's homecoming and political symbolism. Despite the turmoil, Muivah's recent homecoming to his native village in Manipur's Ukhrul district after 61 years became a historic moment. Tens of thousands gathered to receive him, a gesture seen by his supporters as proof that the veteran leader still commands deep emotional loyalty among the Naga people. Political observers in Nagaland and Manipur note that the factionalism could reshape the group's power dynamics. If the dissenting officers consolidate, the NSCN-IM might experience an internal split similar to those that fractured other Naga groups in the past. Public support and propaganda control. To counter rising doubts, the NSCN-IM leadership has turned to public outreach, leveraging emotional symbolism and historical narratives. Videos circulated across YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram show Muivah receiving blessings from elders and interacting with children in his ancestral village. The aim appears to be re-establishing his moral authority and legacy as the father of the Naga cause. The organization's media wing has also warned supporters not to fall for what it calls divisive propaganda spread by enemy agencies. In a statement shared on NPNews Nagaland's Facebook page, the group accused certain individuals of trying to manipulate the emotional sentiments of the Naga people to create chaos. Despite these reassurances, the public is increasingly aware of the internal friction. The NSCN-IM's credibility has taken a hit among civil society and church organizations that once backed its cause. Many community leaders now urge both sides to resolve their internal issues through dialogue, fearing that continued instability might jeopardize the larger Naga peace process. External implications for the Naga peace process. The ongoing internal struggle comes at a sensitive time for the Naga peace talks. The government of India, through its interlocutors, has repeatedly emphasized the need for a united Naga front. Any visible split within the NSCN-IM could weaken its negotiating position and embolden rival factions such as the NSCN-K, NNPGs, or newer tribal-based outfits seeking independent recognition. The print recently quoted an unnamed NSCN-IM senior leader as saying that the Naga people's patience is running out and that the central government's delay in implementing the framework agreement has created confusion. This frustration has added fuel to the internal dispute, with dissenting officers accusing the leadership of ineffective diplomacy and repeated compromises. Moreover, Muivah's advancing age and health concerns have triggered speculation about succession. Several senior figures, such as R.H. Raising, V's Adam, and other prominent members, are reportedly being discussed as possible successors or interim administrators, yet none possess Muivah's charisma or historical authority. This leadership vacuum could become a flashpoint for further division in the months ahead. The massive turnout, estimated at over 60,000 people, according to the Times of India, was not just a homecoming celebration but a carefully orchestrated reaffirmation of authority. In his public speech, Muivah declared that the movement's core principles remain non-negotiable and that the demand for a separate Naga flag and constitution cannot be diluted. Yet analysts observe that this symbolic moment of unity may not have erased the underlying discord. Behind the emotional scenes, the NSCN-IM remains divided between two factions, one rallying behind Muivah's uncompromising stance and another advocating for a pragmatic settlement with India to end the decades-long stalemate. The dissenters argue that the movement's excessive insistence on sovereignty and symbolic issues could isolate the Nagas from broader regional realities, while the leadership insists that any compromise would erase the Naga identity. Ideological divide and command breakdown. The ideological conflict within NSCN-IM is now intertwined with generational and regional divides. The younger cadres, many of whom have grown up after the 1997 ceasefire, view the leadership as disconnected and rigid. They argue that the revolutionary ideals of the 1980s no longer resonate with the political realities of 2025. Meanwhile, the senior leaders, particularly those close to Muivah, see the younger officers as inexperienced and easily influenced by external forces, including rival factions and Indian intelligence networks. E-Pao's November 5 report indicated that Muivah's office has issued new internal advisories warning members against spreading false narratives and unauthorized letters. The message emphasized that any attempt to divide the group would be treated as anti-national and anti-Naga. However, insiders told RepublicWorld that several mid-ranking officers have already withdrawn from the organization's command structure, refusing to obey central orders. These developments suggest a breakdown in command discipline, something rarely witnessed in the NSCN-IM's history. The road ahead. The NSCN-IM now stands at a crossroads. The organization that once commanded fear and respect across Nagaland is struggling to maintain unity amid ideological disarray and generational shifts. Muivah's leadership remains symbolic, but sustaining control over a restless cadre base may prove increasingly difficult. Observers believe that how the group handles this crisis will define its relevance in the coming decade. If reconciliation fails, a split appears inevitable, potentially giving birth to new factions that might either adopt softer political approaches or return to militant tactics. For now, Muivah's faction retains formal authority, but the moral cohesion that once bound the organization appears fragile. His return home may have been emotionally powerful, yet the true challenge lies ahead, preserving unity within a fractured movement that is increasingly unsure of its future. As 2025 draws to a close, the NSCN-IM's internal strife represents more than just a leadership quarrel. It reflects a generational struggle over identity, ideology, and the meaning of the Naga revolution in a rapidly changing political landscape. Sources used. 1. The Shillong Times, Muivah's Homecoming and the Unfinished Story of Nagaland, November 4, 2025. 2. Eastern Mirror internal conflict erupts within NSCN-IM, November 3, 2025. 3. RepublicWorld NSCN-IM reasserts on Nagaland, November 5, 2025. 4. The Print Sooner Center solves Naga issue the better, NSCN-IM, November 2025. 5. E-Pao NSCN-IM advises members, November 5, 2025. 6. Times of India historic reception, 60,000 welcome Muivah in Senapati, November 2025. 7. NPNews Nagaland NSCN-IM condemns misleading social media posts, November 2025. Disclaimer. This report is an independent journalistic analysis compiled by ZalengamMedia based on publicly available sources and verified media outlets. It does not represent any political or organizational agenda. All views and interpretations are for informational and educational purposes only. For more in-depth updates, political insights, and on-ground coverage from Northeast India, subscribe to ZalengamMedia on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay informed, stay connected, and continue supporting independent regional journalism.
And India say that you are Indian nation. You are not Naga. Naga is just a tribe, not a nation. But your nationality is Indian. You say no. We have been fighting for years and decades for our identity. My identity runs in the blood. It cannot be created by parliament. It cannot be created by any force on earth, but it is the gift of God. Naga nationality runs in
sini yang harus support.